All right, easy bakers, it is meatloaf time. We all love some meatloaf. Now, I'm using 93 to 7% fat on my beef meatloaf, but you're more than welcome to use whatever type of ground meat you want to use. I do say turkey is like you have to cook it different as what so if you guys want to see that, then I can make a video on that. So to my ground beef, I use my go-to seasonings, which include what is it called? Garlic powder that you guys just saw, celery seed. And if you haven't bought celery seed, girl, go buy some celery seed. It will change your life. And onion powder, as well as accent. Cannot go wrong with accent. Grandma put me onto accent, and I haven't not used it since. It literally wake up the flavor. And I also use my Coors bouillon beef. I like to use beef for beef and chicken for chicken. All right, so once you mix that together, I like to take my brown gravy packet, but the best thing that I love to use is the Lipton's soup. That gives it so much flavor, you guys. But once I get that in, I go in for a second time with the seasonings that I used before. And I just add a little bit on so we can make sure that the flavor is throughout your meat, honey. And I also like to add, once you get done mixing that in, you're gonna add you some Worcestershire sauce. And you don't have to mix that in before you add this. My mind was somewhere else, y'all. So you go ahead and add your Worcestershire sauce to it, as well as your eggs and some ketchup. Your eggs serve as a binder, just like your breadcrumbs. So you do, and I also add I don't know how much splash of milk that I added, but you use a splash of milk because it would retain the moisture. It will still be moist. I never tried water, but try it and let me know how it is. So I forgot to add my breadcrumbs at this point, you guys. That's why I was like, oh no, where's my breadcrumbs? So my mind was somewhere else yet again. So you get your breadcrumbs, and you also want to add your breadcrumbs. So your eggs and your breadcrumbs are binders. That would allow your meat to kind of stay formed together. Cause honey, that would be embarrassing. You cut open your meatloaf and it just fall apart. Oh, like you having spaghetti, girl. Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. But you do not want to over mix this because it will make your meat very tough. So just mix it until everything's combined together that you really can't see anything. And another tip that you guys want to do, you just want to make sure that your meat is evenly spread out, because that will allow you to have an even cook. You don't want, sometimes when it comes to meatloaf, your center will be raw, but the outsides will be completely done. That's because it wasn't like a evenly spread out, so have an evenly spread out log. Then go ahead and put that thing in the oven, girl. I do mine on 350 for like an hour, or depends on how much meat I have. And once it does that, it is all done. And you get to make yourself some sauce. Either you can put ketchup on top of it, or you can put barbecue sauce. I like to make my own little tangy zesty sauce. What you do with this tangy zesty sauce, boo, is get you some ketchup, squirt that in. So if you use one cup of ketchup, you're only going to use like 1/4 of mustard. That will be your ratio, and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So if you're using 1 cup of ketchup, you're going to use 1/4 cup of mustard and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. That's how much I can tell you guys if you need measurements, but usually just put the ketchup in there, put the mustard in it, put the brown sugar in it, taste it. If it's too much ketchup, add some mustard. Too much, if it's not enough sweetness to it, add a little brown sugar. Boom, pow, pow.